everybody, and welcome back to the Blue Snot channel. Today, I'm back with another match preview, as I'm going to be previewing the upcoming match between the San Jose Earthquakes versus Sporting KC. Now, the international break is officially over, and the Quakes are back in the league. But despite the fact that the international break is over, it doesn't really mean anything for the Quakes, because we all know the Quakes season is officially over. They are out of the playoffs after getting eliminated just 2 weeks ago after losing to the Whitecaps. And really, the rest of the games are pretty much just glorified friendly from now on. And I really think for the rest of the season, there is now just absolute no excuses of us not playing the kits and just trying different things and trying different formation to see what will actually fit and find an identity in this team. I mean, you know, this is really now the true definition of nothing to gain and nothing to lose, because even if we win some of these games, we're not going to make the playoffs, and even if we lose some of these games, we're not going to make the playoffs either. And if we lose some of these games, you know, as long as we keep losing these game, the only thing we win this season is the wooden spoon. And I know some Quakes fans said that they don't want to win the wooden spoon. To be honest, I really don't care if we win or not. If we win it, you know, I don't know if there's going to be a celebration or not. I mean, technically you shouldn't be celebrating if you win the wooden spoon. That's because you are supposed to be the last place team in the league. But at the same time, I just think that this is a time that we have to start playing our kids. And if I was the Quakes front office and just the manager in general, call up these Reno guys. Call up the guys that we literally drafted. I mean, why in the world have we really been playing some of the guys that we have drafted this season? I mean, I know probably the reason why I think we haven't played them is because, you know, they need to get some experience and stuff like that. Well, you know, if they're gonna get some experience and get some MLS experience, this is probably the best time to do it. Now, I know you probably will also think, well, we do have a lot of tough game coming up. I mean, we got Sporting KC, the Red Bulls, and then Atlanta coming up, but at the same time, you know, like I said, these games doesn't matter. So it doesn't matter who exactly we play and who exactly, what kind of result we're going to get from these games. You know, it's still going to be kind of the same result at the end of the season, which is that we're going to miss the playoffs. And I kind of will also say that this is sort of a good thing for some of these guys that potentially will get called up from Reno and get some of these kids a chance to play in MLS, because this is a chance that they get to face against these very good and very kind of big teams. And although I have a feeling that most likely they are going to get absolutely destroyed in terms of facing these big teams, at least they get some experience against those big teams. And, you know, hopefully if those guys play well and some of our kids play well in those games, then maybe they definitely could have a future in MLS. And also, this is also a chance to evaluate who exactly is gonna be part of this future reconstruction again for our team, and who is probably not going to be part of that reconstructing and part of that rebuilding that we have to do once again next season. So yeah, the bottom line is, I just think we got to play the kids in this game. We got to try something different. I mean, at this point, I don't really care if we win or lose. It doesn't really matter. You know, if we lose 5-0 against Sporting KC, I'm not going to be disappointed whatsoever, because that's how our season is. And as long as if we try something different and we give these kids some chance and give these kids some MLS kind of minutes and get themselves experience, then I am going to be very happy about that. Alongside that, I hope Wando would potentially score 4 more goals to potentially break the record of Landon Donovan. I mean, that's probably the only real thing that I'm left to cheer about this team. Now, in terms for the starting 11 coming into this game, well, like I said, I am going to kind of shake things up in terms of the starting 11. In goal, unfortunately, it has to be Andrew Tarbell that's going to be in there. Again, no news that JT Marcinkowski is going to be coming up from Reno, which he got to come up in Reno. I'm praying the fact that he comes up and takes that starting role away from Tarbell, because Tarbell has been absolutely garbage in these last couple of weeks and throughout the season so far. In the left back, I'm going to put Salinas in there because unfortunately we don't have a left back. You know, I've been repeating that every single week and I'm going to say it again. we don't have a left back, and that is something we definitely need to address. That's the first priority that we have to address in the offseason. In terms of the center back partnership, I'm going to say Cummins and Caixinha that is coming back. Now, I know that Cummins haven't been playing a lot lately, and he's been kind of like sitting on the bench, and I'm not quite sure if he's actually injured or not. If he's injured, then this will make me look very stupid, the fact that I decided to put Cummins and I didn't know that he was actually injured. But again, this is just part of something that I just want to give most of these guys a chance to play and just kind of evaluate who is going to be part of that reconstructing and rebuilding project next season, and who are going to be the guys that we're definitely going to cut them, and they're not going to be part of the future. So Cummins and Caixinha is going to be there. And then on the right back, it is going to be Nick Lima. In the central holding mid position, I'm going to have Felipe and Youngworth in that holding midfield partnership. I decided to put Youngworth back in that central defense mid because he has looked very shaky in that center back row, and it's really the first time throughout his career at the Quakes that he actually looked very kind of shaky in that center back row. So I have a feeling we got to move him back up to the holding midfield row. But in terms of course on the right side, I'm going to say Eriksen's going to be there. And then on the left, I am going to say it is going to be Tommy Thompson that is going to be there as part of those two central attacking mid that is kind of act like a winger. And the reason why I decided to put Tommy Thompson in there instead of putting either Hika or Vako in there is because, you know, Vako and Hika, they just represent their country in the UEFA Nation League, and they actually had an amazing international break this weekend, and they did very well with their country. But unfortunately, despite the fact that both of those guys look very well for their country, we've seen this story before of how some of our Quakes players do well for their country, and when they come back to this Quakes team, they become utterly shit again. So, you know, that is kind of part of the reason why I'm not going to put Vako and Hika in there. But at the same time, you know, it's been only 3 days since they were part of the national team. I think it would just be kind of a little bit of a rush to get those guys back on the pitch, and they'll be incredibly tired coming into this game. So instead, I'm going to put Tommy Thompson in there, and then up front, I'm going to put Wando and Houston as the striker. You know, I'm hoping Wando, of course, will score a goal in this game, make himself get one goal closer to the record, and I'm definitely hoping that he does not play in the left wing like what he did in that Vancouver Whitecaps game. Like, seriously, Starhay, what the actual fuck were you thinking putting Wando in the left wing? Oh, I know, because you are totally technically inept, and you always decided to put guys out of position and think that everything will work out, stuff like that. But, you know, Wando, of course, gonna be playing there in the striker role alongside with Houston. And as for Houston, you know, I'm really hoping he can finally snap out of this cold streak. I mean, it's pretty clear that his confidence is not very high. I mean, he hasn't scored a goal in a very long time, and because of that, he actually been benched in the last couple of weeks and had to come off of the substitute bench because he's not scoring goals and not performing well. So I'm hoping that he can potentially score a goal in this game, get his confidence back up, because if you're a striker, you know, when you're in this kind of funk, you definitely want to find any way and every way possible to score goals that can get your confidence back up. So Houston and Wando is going to be there as the two striker. And yeah, that of course is my starting 11 for this game, and that of course is going to be the end of this video. I know what you're probably thinking, where is the prediction for this game? Yeah, I'm not going to make a prediction anymore for the rest of the season. Why? Because it doesn't really matter, all these games. You know, I'm kind of now treating rest of these Quake games as glorify friendly, because, you know, even if we win, it doesn't help us in terms of making the playoffs, and even if we lose, it doesn't really help us of actually losing ground in the playoffs because we're already eliminated. But either way, guys, that is pretty much the prediction of this, or not prediction, but that is pretty much the match preview of this game. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below what's your starting 11 for this game. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time.